Good morning. Hey, how are you out there in YouTube land? Let's get off the big shot of my head because I'm not feeling super photogenic today. Today we are working on this tune from my upcoming EP, which has not been titled or finished yet. So we need to really get a wiggle on because I like to release something in April and something in October. And I'll tell you straight up, this ain't coming out in April. So we've slipped a bit. It's going to be May. It might even be June, but I've got coffee and let's have a listen. Now there's a cheeky little noise in here that I have liked. It's called Cheeky, and I want to strip it out of this tune and replace it with something else. And the reason that I want to do that is I just feel like it's not an authentically me sound. So, let me say hi to chat. Hi, chat. You will notice today, new mic. It is a very fancy mic. I came to have this mic by happenstance, and I don't want to delete the original. I just want to replace it. Cheeky old. Man, the keys on this computer, see how it's renaming a new marker? I don't know what does that, and I'm not a fan. Okay, let me open Firefox. I think it's the browsers, to be honest. Nope, it's not that one. Let's see if it's this one. Let me change tabs, come back. The joy of, no, it's just busted, and in a way that I don't really, let me open something else and come back. No. So if I can't type some letters, so I can type old here and it doesn't get grabbed, but if I type it here, it gets grabbed. So what's grabbing it? Let me close this other browser I don't need right now. See if that helps. Nope, I still can't type a capital L. Oh, how's your morning, everyone? Mine is about this good. I've been working on this tune for half an hour before streaming, and I'd really like to, what I think happens is that one of these programs grabs the control. I'm going to close Chrome, and it might cause problems later, but I might be able to type. I still can't type the letter L. Well, that is some frustration right there. Cheeky 2, turn it off, and hopefully the letter L starts working for me again somewhere down the line. So it's a Bimpler at the moment, which we could use, but let's delete it for now. Let's see, can I type L here? Yeah, I can. I don't know what's going on. Should we use Vital? Let's use Vital, and we'll see if I can just like accidentally come up with a sound that's distinctive, but not that original. So that's a sawtooth going into these effects. Oh, it's probably a really high note, is it? Yeah, okay. What does that sound like on the ones? Yeah, that's nowhere near loud enough, maybe, or let's mess with it a bit. I'm leaving the existing effects on just to see if something cool pops out of it. Cut off real fast. Good seconds. Yeah, I think that I like notes that are that low, but I don't think that that's appropriate for what this sound. Yeah. How loud is this? Like it's not very loud. Doesn't have enough presence. Maybe we can, I mean, 3 octaves for a sound is good. How loud is this sound? Oh, okay. Something hideous has happened with that addition of that. Oh, these other notes are different now. Let's go back up here. Let's get pitch. This way we don't need to adjust all of the clips. Yeah, it's just not very distinctive. Let's... So options for this sound that I'm thinking about are probably really simple synthesized sounds. More just like a whap whap. So maybe let's strip this way back. Let's undo all this. Yeah, okay, so we were losing a lot on... let's put filter. That's the fast thing, this is the slow thing. Okay, compress it. Maybe single band. We can't adjust gain here. Okay, cool. Now if we smash this again. DJ Doms, how you doing, man? And not this. Not this. I think that's necessary, but not all the time. Cool, okay, what does this sound like in context? Okay, so we're starting to get the shape here. I am well done. I had some, so like last week, I don't know if I told everyone on stream, but I don't mind if it's public knowledge, I guess. Yeah, I had some like asthma trouble for a few weeks. Maybe I didn't even mention it in Discord. And that sucked. Like not being able to breathe, really important. Pro tip, keep your breathing intact. So that was shitty, but it went away. And then last week it came back for 4 days. So, yeah. Oh, I can see my vital isn't all on screen. Yeah, but that seems to be resolved, and hopefully it's resolved for good. Like, what can you do with health, right? It is what it is. Let's find a sawtooth. But now that that's racked off, it feels much better. Okay, so we need also 2 to go through the filters as well. Oh. Maybe really wide. I wonder what's the pedal? Yeah, pedal's kind of a bit much for it, hey? Maybe we can use like Sino Fold to fatten it up a bit before the limiter. I'm just trying to replace this sound with something better. Hey, damn, hope you're feeling better, that sunshine. Yeah, man, well, our sunshine is on the way out, so it's just balls. It's been really cold. I got the heater in here. It's on full bore. It's probably summer weather for you guys here right now. It's 15 degrees, but for us, that's freezing. Yeah, you know, I'm wearing a jumper when I go for my walks and my exercise program. But yeah, and it got down to 5 overnight the other night, which is... I like some of this sound, but man, this original is just... Oh, it's a lot slower to start. Maybe we can adjust the attack on this guy and just get a bit... But I feel like this sound is too close to another artist's distinctive noise. I don't want to just steal it. I'm trying to come up with my own little distinctive noise at the start of the bar here, but I don't know. Nice, man. that's the right pitch for it. So maybe we bring these back down to 0. Oh, so where's random phase controlled? Is this, do we get tooltips? Oh, yeah, we do. They just have to wait longer. Come on. Tell me about your, what is this? Is this the randomness? Yeah, phase randomization. Cool. Let's bring that to 0. Maybe a little. Oh, and it's clicking at the end of the sound. The release needs to be. Half a second's too long. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are getting some sunny days up there. It's about time for it, hey? All right, let's duplicate this, and then because I'm not feeling the love on that preset. Man, my fingers aren't doing what I want today. Let's get Hive. Yeah, winter, well, like our summer has felt really long to me. We didn't really get, so normally we get a string of days where it's like 40 degrees for 2 to 5 days, and we get that maybe twice. And we just didn't have that happen this year. It was pretty crazy. And it was very mild all around. Like probably our average would be 32 across for 2 months of summer, and that just didn't happen. It was like up, down, up, down, up, down. I want like a classic mono lead. So let's just flick through some of these. See, that's a pretty nice lead. What does it sound like without all this crap ruining it? I'm finding it hard to audition sounds nicely. So what's the note? The note is C. Whoop. So I can just... Do we get rid of... Ooh, maybe we'll get rid of some of this. I'm going to mute myself while I eat some nuts. I'm sure you'll all understand. I don't hate this sound, but it's too close. Well, it's very close to the original sound, but that's okay. Alright, well I feel like I've spent almost half an hour on trying to find a better sound than this one. I don't think I'm going to. Hey, it was. Sorry about that. I was chewing. Hey, Bolden, how you doing, man? Yeah, I was just saying this, like, this blobby boy, it was just too loud before. So I've brought him down almost 6 dB. And if we resample the tune, or maybe I'll show you a before and after, but he just gets out of control. Yeah, and you can see like that is as loud as the rest of the tune. Like when it was 6 dB louder. Yeah, bonkers. So let's bring it down 6 dB, maybe even more. Like it's going to be there. Delete automation. Right. What? Yeah, and this stuff. This? Nope. It might be this. Nope, it's this. Let's make that a little less. So when resampled, still don't like that that's bigger than the actual tune, but there's a lot going on in here. Whoop. Like I said, my fingers aren't really working with me today. So we got these UI basses, right? So that's happening at the same time as a drum hit, which is a bit of a no-no. That should be faded. So this needs to duck around the drum hit. Let's bring that one down a little. It's close enough. I don't really want the... I think... Is this EQ'd? It is not EQ'd. There might be subs in here. Look at that. Let's just take out some real lows. Yeah, I bounced this tune earlier and that's where I saw all these peaks and went, I have to fix those. That's a bit nicer. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. The limiter's not going to have to work on that. Do we have any other overlapping hits in here? I think we're good. No, that's just me guessing the timing. This isn't loud. I'm not muted. I'm super worried about muting myself now. All right, cool. So that was Blobby Boy fixed. I'll make this bigger. Yeah, the end of phrase is going to take a minute. Let's fix the snare. The snare is too loud. It's kind of dominating the overall mix down. I don't know if it is now. And the drum bus has some clipping on it. So when that snare was 3 dB louder, you can see it's just a sausage. So taking it down to there, it kind of loses a bit of punch. So I'm trying to think about what to do with that. I think we need to lose some of the body. And take this down 3 dB and see if that gives us headroom to leave the snare loud. So take this down 3. I feel like I want that much body, but if we look in the master, It's probably still coming through pretty loud. I mean, you can clearly see it. All right, let's go with that for now. Limiter on the end of phrase. Yeah, that's fiddly. All right, so let's do it. So the end of phrase thing, I think it's in here. No, it's not. It's in here. It's this guy. And it's got this big lumpy thing on the end here. What are all these effects? Oh, did I turn this off? Okay, so if we do anything too intense, it's just going to blow out the reverb tails. You heard how the reverb tails got real loud. Awesome. Just bring the ceiling down. That kind of deals with it. Still before and after resample, so you can see what's going on. See this guy? I think he's a drum hit. That's with the limiter on that channel. And let's get it without the limiter so you can see. See how it's just... see how much bigger this is compared to this, and like this has got all these dynamics in there it doesn't need, and like it gets real lumpy. That's what I'm trying to address. And it is audible, it's just not super pronounced. So there's a something happening. So is it this guy? Is he just too loud? There's a hit here somewhere. Is it a drum? It's not a drum. Ooh. Let's get rid of that. Let's see if this... Whoops. Ah, it is a drum that happens at the same time as that stupid thing. Okay, so at the end of... Oh, look at that. That's bad. All right, we got to re-edit. Did these change much? Can we just bring this down like 6? Yeah, I don't think we need this little snare all the time. I like him in that spot, but when the other end of phrase thing comes in, he needs to go. Okay, now we're going to fix them all the way through. Alright, did I turn the limiter back on end motif? I think I did. Yeah, cool. Alright, so let's assume that that resolved the problem. Alright, we're going to bring up the builds and the breakdown, because I think there's a huge dynamic difference between the builds and the breakdowns. Yeah, we're at like minus 25 RMS in the breakdowns, and in this main build, we're way higher. It's like a 12 dB RMS difference. So what I would like to do is bring up most of this up until this point in a non-obvious, non-crappy way. So we've got two options. We can do it with overall track automation, or we can do it properly and adjust a lot of this. I'm just looking at how many components are involved if we do it with automation across everything. And I don't like how much work I'd have to do. Maybe we break the intro sounds out from the main track, and then we just automate the subgroup. Because we got plenty of things which only happen in the intro. And duplicate this. Yeah, and then this can come out because it doesn't need the side chaining. This only happens in the breakdown. These only happen in the breakdown. Yeah. Pretty disorganized track for me, really. The hats are fine. Would doing it properly be more? Yep, doing it properly is way more work. That's why I'm trying to avoid it. But actually, let's leave the percussion stuff. So it's not. This isn't too bad. Because the only so if we look in the sidechain group, oh, we've still got some bass bits that happen. All right, so let's put all the things which happen at around the same time together. This insane pitching thing, I don't even know what that sounds like anymore. Oh, bloop isn't even switched on, right, so I don't really need to worry about those. And then this is more neo. This is intro stuff. Okay, so this is somewhat organized. This is intro stuff. We did it, gang. This isn't going to be too hard. So let's do automation in here. So basically by this point it needs to be back to 0, but we can really boost it. Cool, that's way too much, which is a good place to start. So we can kind of just eyeball this. Let's delete this automation. Group. We know it's going to be less than 10 dB, right? Let's put this at 0. Okay, so we said 12 dB dynamic difference was too much, and just then we had 3, I think, and that was not enough. So we kind of let's shoot for 6. So let's bring that's boosting at 4 dB. So let's bring this maximum down to 6, which should make that 2 or 3. Yep. Wow, it doesn't even need to be that. Let's cheat and pop this all the way up. What does this sound like, the transition here? Cool, that doesn't actually sound too bad. We can smooth that edge a little. So if we make this like 3 dB, it might still be too much, but let's find out. I know what's happening. I know why this isn't working. We need to take the guts off this Reese. I think it must have been in a submix. Oh, all of this needs its guts taken out, right? Because it's not the sub channel. Actually, let's duplicate the sidechain. All right. Complicated track routing. This should make it much better. We'll probably boost it more too. Okay, that's why 2dB wasn't working. So to summarize what was happening, all these effects weren't on this bus, but they were on the main submix. So let's bump this up like 6 dB again and see if it works. I'm looking for a pad sound. It's not those. It's this. I think this is too lumpy at 600. Maybe not this, huh? All right, I feel like we fixed that. I do wonder if we could do... so I moved it to 4 dB, and it's only like RMS-wise, it's not a huge difference, but it certainly sounds a lot louder. I kind of want to do the same thing to the intro, but I don't want to have to go back in here and mess with all of this. What is this? This is like so ancient. I can't even hear it. Oh. I remember what that is, but that was from a very old version of this tune. Let's just delete all the channels which we don't need anymore. Driving me nuts looking at dead channels. Turn around, that's all switched on. Sub is on. I don't think there's any unneeded drum channels. Yeah, I feel like the difference in volume between this and this is pretty pronounced, but I quite like the flow of the intro. It's just not actually loud enough. Okay, so let's take these channels which are only on during the intro and move them down into our new bus. All right, maybe we can do this as fix. This needs some automation. So when it first comes in, it needs to be loud. In this section, it needs to be 2 or 3 dB quieter. What's the max on that? Oh. Maybe go 3. Let's go all the way down. Man, my ears have had it on this tune. They've had enough of it. Three dB is a lot. All right, so let's, gonna have to resample huge chunks. So I want to see what the intro looks like compared to the drop. Don't know why, but that sub doesn't sound right there, but that's okay. I'll compare it to an old version and see if I've screwed something up. In terms of dynamics, that is looking better to me. The kick and the snare punch out. The snare is still clipping, which is not bad. That's okay. Oh, I need the turnaround because I want to judge this EQ change. Delete automation. Yep, cool. That needs to just be slightly less because I'm just ducking a bit around that to make room for the snare. And then the breakdown, what does that look like? This section gets quieter again, so I would like to automate it further. Let's duplicate this guy and delete automation, show automation in new lane. So it's around here. What is this? Less of that. Mucho better. If we disabled both of those, it would be an interesting comparison. Yeah, so the difference between these two It's just a couple of dB of volume automation, but it makes a difference. All right, that was everything that was on my hit list. Let's bounce it. Save live set as 08. Edits. Um, 32, and I want the MP3. YouTube is saying that the audio bitrate on the stream is less than, well, it's saying that it's 0. So if you have not been able to hear music, please do let me know. But there has been music up until this point where it's now just me talking. We're going to bounce this, and we're going to load the bounce into another project. I'm going to have a quick look at it, and we're going to turn the mastering chain back on, which is really just I think there's some EQ and a limiter and a little bit of compression. Yeah, like 1 dB of compression, but it makes a difference. And then going to see if there's any lumpy bits or anything that looks like it would be making the limiter work too hard. And then I'm going to work on another tune and try and get it to a similar level of completion. There's one that's really close, which I've worked on stream before. So I might pick that one up because that one just needs some judicious edits to create a bit of space in places. It's either that or a certified banger. Actually, that's a good point. This one was the hard one. So if this is ready to go, which it's got to be close because I'm sick of working on it, then the others are easier, which I kind of want to high-five myself for doing the hard thing first. Now I've got some to-dos for this song. I'll read them out. Make all the synths and stuff tougher. Yep, did it. Intro goes through some tonal shifts. Maybe it shouldn't. I did address that. The chords need to be brightened up. Everything got brighter, so I'm going to say that's done. Is that the default snare? It is not. It's fine. Tighter edits on the main synths. I did a test edit and it wasn't necessary. Overall, the flow feels not quite right in the beginning. I kind of agree, but I bumped the sub up and I feel like that really addressed that. I'm going to remove that point and see if it comes back. It would be tougher overall. Yep, fixed. Build is a little ratty still. I agree, but I did some work on it. Squiggle noise, tried it. Second drop comes in, it doesn't feel impactful enough. If it's still building, it should be obvious that's what's happening. I have not addressed that, but I feel like the track makes its point at that point. And I've thought about ways to make it obvious that this is not the finished track. This is not like the main drop, but I don't know what I could do. Short of EQing it and putting a redux on there and just overall messing with it, I don't know what I could do. And that would destroy the impactfulness because I kind of want it to be impactful, but you know that it's holding back. And then when it really drops, it's nice. I'm surprised it was so easy to break the intro and breakdowns apart from the main drops. I really like that. I really thought that was going to be a lot more difficult. Come on, bounce. All right, so we don't need these. This was, sounds like. What's the date? 23rd for... Select all and save. This may lock up the computer for a minute. Nope, all good. All right, so let's flick back to our mastering project. So these were the edits that I was doing before to like simulate this. I wonder how much I was pushing it here. Here, 2 dB and 5 dB. Yeah, so that's what we wound up doing with that automation, almost exactly 3 and 2. Funny. Yeah, that's that noise that we dealt with. All right. Hello. So the intro is certainly louder. Oh, everything's louder. Hang on, there's something gone horribly wrong here. What have we done? Oh, hell, that's okay. I think the limiter is on, so I'm going to rebalance that. But I had it turned down. The good joys of working with audio. Save changes. Nope, don't even bother. All right, while this next one bounces, I might chuck on some music and wander around for 5. And, oh yeah, did I get mood? No, I didn't. Right, so that's, we need all of this off. Yep. Replace it. All right, cool. I'm going to chuck on some music over here for all y'all. I think this does it. Apologies if it's deafening. I'll turn that down a little. Okay, I'm going to mute myself and switch scene, but I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm back. Let's load the mastering project. Yeah, there was no real need to turn the master down. I just did it out of, I don't know, goodwill. Let's call it goodwill. Alright. Oh. I'm chewing gum. If it's annoying, let me know. You guessed it. I didn't turn the volume automation back on, I think. And some of this is lumpier. Ooh. What's going on here? This getting a bit wild is okay. So in here, yeah, these are turned off, which is not cool. And then edits. Yeah, what's going on in some of these lumpy bits? This is a bit weird. What's happening here? Do we have, does something different happen with the snare? Certainly something happens in this moment, which is louder than everything else. What? We mute this percussion, does it not happen? So how come these drums are nice and tight and these ones are not? Big question. Big question. Everything's still sidechained. It's only transient, but look at that. There's just some big peaks. Like, can we get in here? and just smooth some of this. Well, that's a terrible. This drum loop really slides around. Bothers me. I kind of want to get in and fix that drum loop and see if it makes the whole thing sound a little tighter, but I can do it in a minute. Hang on. So the only other thing that I can think of that's doing that is the compressor on the drum bus. But that's before. Oh, actually, let's look at this in Octave. So it almost can't be coming out of. Oh. Okay, let's mute that. I'm going to choose to not worry about it. I don't think that those are going to ruin my song. As much as they shit me. Those peaks are like... can we get a dB reading here? They're massively higher. No, I gotta figure that out. Okay, so if we solo the drums, do we get Peaky Boys? Just out of the drum group. Okay, so we don't get Peaky Boys out of just the drum group. What if we add the sub? No Peaky Boys. This group, which isn't playing anything at this point. No Peaky Boys. The main sidechain. Starting to get Peaky Boys. But not as pronounced as this. Also, what else is there? What? Okay, that's super weird, but it's external in, but that's not active. Could it be reverbs and stuff? Do we even use these? What is, hey DJ Doms, how you doing? What is making that peak? That's bonkers. So we only have these, and if I turn off this sidechain channel, so it's something in here. Let's find out. Look at that. There's this little clicky guy here. And he comes through to here as well. And the only thing really happening in here is this bass. You have many options. Does this only happen once? Twice. Okay, freeze it. So we're just going to use volume automation to get rid of those little clicks. That's crazy. I wish they weren't there. This definitely doesn't matter, so I don't recommend that everyone goes to this level of detail. There's bigger fish to fry. I'm just obsessive. Right, so now we can turn off the MIDI one. And then fade this. Where's the snare? Here. So then we can fade that again. All right, we're in with a chance here that we've gotten rid of that stuff. Woo! We did it. We clawed ourselves back 2 dB of headroom. All right, where else does that bass noise happen? And does it... It does the same thing here. So let's tidy some of this up. All right, what else sticks out as lumpy? There's those 2 bits. What is happening here? I don't think there's nothing we can do about that. That's fine. That's the pads getting louder in the low mids, which we've already tried to address a little bit, but it's not a deal breaker. What's happening here? I've been wondering for a while. Hey, Josh. Josh, are you going to the Josh fight? Do you know about the Josh fight? I wonder if a lot of people are going to be asking you about that. Like, Reddit is organizing a fight of the Joshes. I don't know much more about it other than I saw a bunch of memes about it lately. Lately in the last 48 hours. So I think that, yeah, I've been wondering for ages whether I should just, as a matter of course, fade all of my bass samples. And it looks like it would make a difference. So... Score 1 for fading bass samples. I think these can all come up a little. I was not aware. Well, I'm glad I could help. I don't want you to miss out. There's GPS coordinates of where where all the Joshes are going to meet and fight. I don't know if it's 2 particular Joshes or if it's like every Josh is expected to turn up, but I guess you should look into it. Let's chuck a limiter on here and just... and then we can... So it's at minus 17. It's crazy. Push it up like 2. I used to like it when these played out. I don't know. Let's see. Gonna bring it down a little bit just because I'm aware that my ears are a bit crushed. I want to chuck just a bit slower, a bit more resonance. Thanks, man. This is like, I loved this when I made it. Check it out. I'll show you a secret bit. My friend's kid is all over this tune. So I loved it when I made it, and then I added my friend's kid all over the place, and I still love it. And like, that isn't the bit that's ruining it for me. But like, as it progressed, it feels a bit scrappy to me. How do I make that play? Oh, are these not playing? Hang on, has it lost the audio? What's... Oh, maybe that's the rhythm bit that I missed. Ah, there was a channel which was turned off, which was feeding the vocoder. That's the missing element. Okay. How do we get that channel back? So it's the channel before Neo singing. Oh, shoot. Current project. It was definitely in 7. It's in the sidechain group. Oh, you guys can't see this, but I'm just diving back through the old. I think there's an audio track which is switched off, which if I bring it back and set up the routing again, it should have little stabs. And those timings, not there. Hive, maybe here. Yeah, okay. Right, that was the missing part. I wondered why the first drop didn't sound right to me. So I'll show you all of the bits where my friend's kid is singing on this tune. It's heaps fun. He's actually singing Happy Birthday, and then I've processed it a lot. Modulator. I'm pretty sure that audio from... Hang on, why? Oh, I can't believe I broke this. It feels bad. So I must need 2 channels. Or maybe that's what the audio channel was the output being... Always with this tricky crap. What is... Oh, this is frustrating. So there's the... You have to keep bringing in channels until it makes sense. Or I can go back a version and just bounce this channel as audio. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm not even sure what I've dragged in at this point. Yeah, some of this needs to go. This channel not important. Damn. All right, let's go get the... Anyway, so my friend's kid is singing all over this tune. I'll show you the other bits which still exist, and then we'll come back to that one. So there's this, which is like a riser thing. And then in the breakdowns, he's in the right channel, just starting to say happy birthday, but it's super quiet. Anyway, that's heaps of fun. Let's go get that other channel back. Oh, fucking control. Okay, so if I save this, have I ruined it by trying to drag in channels? I don't think so. Oh yeah, there's another little bit of Neo here. Alright, save, and then we'll go back to version 7 and we'll find those vocoder bits, and we'll just bounce them as audio because they're too fussy. Doop, doop, doop. Multiband, yep, sure. Yeah, so this tune is feeling a bit scrappy to me still, or slash again. So maybe I'll tighten up those drums, the additional percussion drums, because they're just, I like that they're, the texture of them, but I feel like they're just not quite working. But you know, like also not songs, tracks should have a bit of slop. It helps them have character. Come on. I'm so glad I built a new computer. So yeah, that's my friend's kid, just vocoded to death. So I can just freeze that, right? Nope. But I can... What can I do to get this channel out? Like I can... I think it's these two, I think. Cut, new, no. Yeah, I put out the call on Facebook to friends and family and said, send me recordings of stuff around you. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be particularly musical. Go nuts, send me anything. And if I can use it in a track, I'll use it in a track. And this was, it didn't, yeah, it's got the notes. Okay, let's get rid of all these. Does it play? Yeah, and it's at 90 BPM. Okay, it's ridiculous. Yeah, this was one of the ones that I got. One of the samples that I got, which was cool. So let's export all of this. Don't need the MP3 of it. 32-bit, please. Desktop. New bits from sounds like. Okay, now I can drag that back into our track and put it back where it belongs, because I wondered what was missing in the drops. And it's just that little off-timing vocoder noise. Yeah, and so I got, my mum sent me some recording of her, of a bird around the house, which is cool. And that's in a tune. A friend sent me some beatboxing, which is not yet in a tune. But actually, now that I say that, I know which tune it needs to be added to. Got Neo singing Happy Birthday from my friends. And there was one other. But yeah, I've been slowly working them into these tunes. Just as little extra bits. I'm going to regret not saving that, aren't I? I'm going to have to do it again at some point when I find out the bounce is stuffed. Come on. I'm glad I built a new computer. Because because it's much faster to just bounce between projects these days. All right, where's Neo? Mute you. Desktop. Start it. Oh no, it's the wrong Neo. Yeah. Come on. Right. Does that start on the bar? Yep. Nice. Did it just get louder there? Do I have automation on a limiter or something? Why does it get louder there? Oh. All right, we were going through and looking for lumpy bits. I think we solved that one. It's the same as the first one. Just need to fade some stuff. Some lumps in here. What's this? It's always stuff happening with the snare, and it's probably a bass. Let's move that over a tiny scooch and see if that fixes it. Same here. There's something. You know what would solve all of this nicely, maybe? On the sidechain, how intense is the sidechain? Yeah, it's fully intense. Give it 10 millisecond look ahead, see if this ruins anything. So it looks rough in here. Wow, look ahead, way better. Okay, so two things I've learned today. Always fade basses, or use look ahead on gate. We'll introduce latency. But I don't tend to play stuff in anyway, so who cares, right? Drum bus, so the percussion is also sidechained. And if we give it 10 millisecond of look ahead. Man, look ahead on gate. Okay, cool. Well, I learned a couple of things today. That's dope. Collect all and save. Why are you zooming out so much? Ableton, you scare me. Cool. All right. So look ahead on gate makes a huge difference to how it reacts to stuff that happens at the exact same time as the gate signal. So that's really cool. I wonder if it's starting fades too early, but I can't hear it. So I'll have a look at the waveform in a second. I know when I did a whole round of testing different sidechaining techniques, I was not a fan of look ahead. But if it means I don't have to manually fade everything forever, then it's just going to be what I use. Or I manually fade everything. Come on. Wonder what that's doing to my CPU. Task Manager. Not that bad. All right. Performance. It's weird, 30% CPU, and like it should be rendering as fast as it possibly can. So you would think it should get to 100%. I guess unless it's starved waiting for different effects to feed in to other things. So is it on one core? 8? Oh, I don't know. AMD use weird chiplets. I don't know how to think about their CPUs. I think I have 4 chiplets in here. So maybe that is one CPU plus some additional bits from the others. Because one CPU would be 25%. Maybe it's using 25% plus some overhead. Which is a bit of a shame that you're only using 2 out of your 8 cores at maximum. But anyway, audio is audio. Come on, render. Um, 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. Camera and everything. Oh, I forgot how much I end up going down rabbit holes when trying to finish tunes off. I'm glad I've put these hours into this. It's probably 4 or 5 hours over yesterday and today. But I can't see me coming back in here to tweak much. It's pretty much done, which is cool. I just thought of a really fast way to fix the drums up. We'll do it in a second. And then we'll compare. Even MP3 encoding wasn't slamming the CPU. Weird. So really quick way to fix the drums. So if we just solo this, let's see if they sound scrappy or not. I think this... Okay. I just like working at 96K. For a while, I didn't. Look at that. That's crap. I got hooked on 96K when I was working at 44.1 for ages, and then I did some tests where is my mic on? Yeah. Where I made a drum loop, and I just dicked around with it at 44.1 with a bunch of effects, and then I tried switching to 96, and it was like night and day. And I've repeated this experiment, and I haven't been able to get the same, like, oh my God, moment out of it, because I don't know exactly what was going on. But at 44.1, the hi-hats I think it's actually saturator. I think it's Ableton saturator from memory. It doesn't, I know it says it does oversampling, but you can make it really break down. It's a good idea for a video. I really want to fix all this. So there's two patterns. There's this at the start. Oh, is it the same pattern? And then there's these others. Yeah, and so I just got used to working at 96. Well, no, I wanted to work at 96 back then. And then when I built a new computer, I've got the CPU for it, so why not? Look, it's only 2 channels of crap. Let's get in here and fix this. So this... Hey, Valid Productions, how you doing? Just working on finishing up this tune and talking about crap while we do it. Let's get the grid going on here. So, like, most of this is in time enough. I mean, I don't mind a bit of slop here. Like, what's... I think that feels distinctive to me. See, but this guy, he's coming in early. It kind of doesn't matter at this point. There's not an established rhythm to get in the way of. Yeah, I don't think it's a deal breaker. And if I had to work at 44 or 48, I would. And it wouldn't matter to me too much. I'll show you the saturator thing that, and I don't know if it's a deal breaker. Like... but I use saturator a lot, and so we've got a sine wave. Let's make it 1K. Okay, we got a sine wave here, and we get a saturator, and if we get an EQ, so what we should expect, and I'll get a utility. So I'm going to basically mute this. I'm going to turn it way, way, way down. So you can see we're getting 1K tone there. And as we drive it, let's do like soft sine. So we're getting resonances, like odd resonances. So we're getting, sorry, even resonances. So at 1K and 3K, we get another little spike. If we keep pushing it, we get more. And you see how they're all on the thousands? Push it more. See, they're all evenly spaced by 1,000 hertz or whatever, right? Hey, Valid. Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, but as we push it more, so you can see they're all evenly spaced on the thousands. So if I drop my project resolution down to 44.1, you see they're at different spaces, and see we get all this crap around each of the tones. That's aliasing. So because we're absolutely driving the bejesus out of it, it's hitting the top frequency that 44.1 can handle, and then it's reflecting back down. At least that's how I understand distortion. So I mean, it's kind of audible. But I feel like that stuff builds up. Whereas at 96K, we don't get the aliasing around all of these notes. And that was one of my findings about working at 96K, was just that saturator didn't crap out an alias anywhere near as hard. And because I use saturator all of the time, I just felt like it was easier to go to 96K. Than to change my workflow. Oh God, have I had automation turned off? For how long? Okay, back into drum edits. So this guy looks okay. Like all of this is mostly on time. Now let's go to 16ths. So this top channel, it's close enough. There's nothing like rushing the beat, and even this guy, yeah, he's spot on. Yeah, it's weird. Like I don't think it's a huge deal breaker, and if Saturator oversampled properly, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But once I'd seen it, I couldn't unsee it. So is this just a loop? What's happening here? 2? No, this thing varies. All right, so let's just get into here. 16ths, quantize. Yeah, cool. Are these all bang on now, or are they? No, they slip. So I'm just going to fix this intro loop and see if it sounds better. And like, don't know about that. There's just a few hits that are like way off that could be better. And like I said, I like a bit of groove out of these things anyway, so I'm not expecting perfection, but I feel like I can hear some of these hits in the main drop and they are not working with the rhythm. Doop. How much more have we got to go? Halfway, cool. Yeah, you can see it like it falls in and out. So I just edited badly when I started bringing this stuff in, I guess. Yeah, the other option is Melda have a really good saturator, wave shaper. Same thing, essentially. And, well, not always, but yeah, so I did for a while try to change my process to rely on the Melda saturator a lot more. But I find it so difficult to change my habits that it felt easier to just stick to 96K, at least for a while, until I come up with a good solution. And that's milliseconds, so it doesn't matter. Right, so that's the intro retimed. I think it's pretty much the same loop the whole way through from that point. Including over here. Yep. So if I consolidate that. And retime this. All right, let's get in there. Yeah, so once we get this retimed, I can flick back and forwards between the two and see if there's a huge difference. And I'll probably still use the cleaned up one anyway, just because. Oop. So I'm just using Shift to slide the audio around the watt markers. And it is ridiculously pedantic, much like most of this stream today. So don't, again, would not encourage you to get this obsessive about stuff. But I have this process of finishing songs which seems to involve this level of micro editing and obsession. Cool. So now we can duplicate this guy out. Is it making sense still? Yeah. Cool. That looks basically the same. Oop. Oh, it's actually noticeable. Oh my God. In here, it's noticeable. Check this out. Now let's loop a bit that makes a bit more sense. Is that a loop? It just feels flammy and dumb here. Wow. Okay, cool. So we want that one on. Let's get rid of this channel. I don't want to look at what's different. Actually, I do. I lied. There's a few hits that I took out earlier in the stream. That doesn't matter. I really like this guy here. Hang on. It's with and without. Yeah, it really is. Like I would like to not care, but it's just too hard. Yeah, I think like I would say the most important thing to learn initially in terms of this stuff, is just to finish writing the tune. The actual polishing it up to put on Bandcamp and have next to your name forever, separate skill. But once you are at the point that you are, yep, I want to release this thing, you need to be able to hear it without cringing. And that's what this process is about for me, is just taking out all of the stuff that I'm going to hear forever and go, damn, really wish I tidied that up. Because it's just, it doesn't feel great playing a song that you know is unfinished to a crowd. Like playing unfinished stuff to crowds is great fun because it can be really weird and wacky and raw, and if it fits the mood right, it doesn't matter. But if it's gonna be something that is gonna be on your mind, so there's a big difference between playing something you know is unfinished and playing something that you could have done better on, I guess. Oh my god. Yeah, some of those edits are so ratty. Oh, I'm glad we tidied this shit up. That's good. Cool. Let's get rid of that channel. Okie dokie. How are we doing for time? Oh, it's 11. All right, I'm going to walk around a bit. I'll chuck on some music for you, but I'll be back in 2 and we'll keep going. Yo. Hey Josh, thanks for hanging out, man. Yeah. Enjoy your evening. It is damn late over there. What is it? Like midnight? 10? I don't know. not good at the UK time zones, and lately I've had to just kind of give up on understanding the time zones properly because it's just a bit been doing my head in trying to collaborate with people in the UK. Yeah, not to say it doesn't happen or won't happen, but God, being 11 hours apart from each other is rough. All right, where's 08 WAV sounds sketches? I think that's us. I think that's our boy. 11:15. Yep, that's us. All right, how are we looking in terms of peak levels? Look at that. Intro is louder, exactly like we want. This is a bit beefier. This is much more consistent. This is louder, which is good. This is more consistent. I reckon that in terms of level management, we're not going to get better than that. Let's chuck these in a group. Sounds like, this track 1. I can't name anything with a capital L in it because Ableton's being crazy. All right, so there's no, what does this sound like? Smash. Oh man, it is close. It is close. It is close. There is some crap in here. This section, and then it's done. Let's go back to the main project. Collect all and save. Yep. Sounds like, you know. Oh, I can't believe we're almost done. That's great. After I tidy up these sections, I'm gonna bow out of this week's stream and go for a nice walk and rest my ears and have a stretch, eat some lunch, and then I'm gonna work on it in the afternoon. So it's this. Yeah, so it's that stuff around 3K. I think this got it. Is this stuff around 2 and 3K? We can just EQ it. It's not too dynamic. Figuring out if there's a better way to do this. There probably is. Could do it with Pro Q or even Pro MB. Haven't really learned Pro MB yet. feel like we lose a lot of the character, and being bells, they're spiky. There's not much you can do about it. And this guy, 600, some junk happening there. Ah, it's in here too. So you might be able to bring that all up by like a few dB now that we've squashed. $534. I mean, the whole point of this is that it's smooth and there's some different stuff going on. Let's see what it sounds like in context. I think I've ruined it. There's a lot of reduction happening here. Where's our bass at? An idea has occurred to me, which might be a bad idea, but let's try it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Don't know why that was so difficult for me, but so if we copy this up to the overall sidechain, this is insane, but let's see what it sounds like. It's got an idea, that's for sure. Not sold on that. So if I've set as fixing bells, all right. Oi, wow, what a session. Collect all and save. Oh, and then I need to switch off the master. Save again. Right. Well, that's like the 5th bounce we did on stream today. Yeah, this is my process for finishing things. Bounce it, look at it, bounce it, look at it. Yeah. It feels laborious, but it works for me. I haven't found a better way to force myself to inspect every last microsecond of a thing other than to bounce it and look at it. And by look at it, I mean in spectrum and in amplitude. All right, well, that's going to wrap today's little stream. I'm going to work on this tune this afternoon, or hopefully work on something new if I feel like this is done. Or at least done enough so that I'm going to accumulate pre-masters in that mastering project. And that will give me one last chance, once I've got pre-masters for all of the songs, to compare how they sound related to each other and do any final tonal balancing. You would have seen me before playing with the EQ in Elevate, which I have not done before, but man, like Dan from Newfangled Audio is a legend, and his work on that Elevate bundle is my favorite, just absolutely my favorite. So on my master is just a tiny touch of compression because it makes such a difference. And that Elevate bundle, and I'm happy to EQ in there because it's just so transparent. You can't tell me that you can hear these little nudges of a couple of dB. They don't sound unnatural. You can hear them, and they give you a feel, but they're not clinical. They're not trying to be analog. They're just their own beautifully transparent thing. Anyway, I'm rambling about EQ quality. I'm a big fan of the ones in Elevate. I think the standalone product is called Equivocate, and I've really come around to it. I really like it. All right, I'm going to wrap up the stream. I'm looking for the stop stream button. I like to say thanks for hanging out in chat. Well, that's the wrong button. Now we got success buttons everywhere. Oh my god. All right, thanks for hanging out. All right, well, I'll catch you guys next time. I'm streaming, which should be pretty soon. I noticed chat hasn't caught up. There we go. All right, ciao.